Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2018 comedy horror Killer Weekend, a film that is written and directed by Ben Kent, and it stars Mark Heap, Sean Very, Danny Karan, David Munay, Timothy Renouf, Perry Fitzpatrick, Ewan McIntosh, and a whole host of other names. Now, and this is a UK-based comedy horror that focuses on a group of friends that go on a stag do, and the stag do that they have chosen for Sam, who is the guy who's going to be getting married in a few months, is a weekend away at a zombie-themed paintballing expedition that is run by ex-military, and basically these ex-military dress up like zombies, put makeup on, walk around the woods, and these guys walk around with paintballing guns and, you know, have fun shooting zombies, I guess. And the only trouble is things don't really go according to plan when one of them accidentally kills one of the military zombies. It keeps escalating from there, and then it becomes a weekend battle for survival, in the hope that these stag do friends can make it through the weekend in one piece. Now, that is the general gist of this story, without giving away any real spoilers here. Now, this film reminded me in a lot of ways of the horror comedy, Tucker and Dale? You know the one I mean, where they keep accidentally killing folk and all that kind of stuff. It's a while since I've seen that film, and I wasn't that big a fan of it, to be honest, but we have a bit of a similar concept here with these group of friends who are completely and utterly useless, talk nothing but utter crap, really. There's not many brain cells between them, and they seem to be accidentally bloody great at killing people. And that is the comedy of this thing, really. I mean, it's actually pretty effective. It's certainly very heavy on the comedy, and I must admit much of the comedy I thought was pretty funny for the most part. There's an awful lot of gags that fall flat, but it's one of those where they keep churning them out. There's some characters funnier than others, but they all get the moments to shine. They all have some funny lines here and there. You've got the stupid one, you've got the cocky arrogant one, and you basically go through it. They're all kind of stereotypes that you see in movies like this, but they're all portrayed pretty well by all the actors involved here, and even though there's quite a lot of them, you all feel a little bit of a connection to each of them, even though you might not like all of them, certainly, for sure. Now, while this is quite heavy on the comedy, which it is, and it's got a very British sense of humour, so if you like that sort of humour, you're probably going to get a kick out of it, because there are some pretty funny gags in here, pretty funny lines and pretty funny situations. But in actual fact, this at times could be an incredibly gory film as well. You see limbs being chopped off, lots of blood. It doesn't really hold back on the gore as well, which is really nice to see. So it's one of those rare comedy horrors that delivers on both sides. It's, in regards to horror, it's more like an action horror in that sense, and the horror elements are like the limbs being chopped off and things like that. It's not a scary film in any way, shape or form. The horror comes from the gore and the violence, the blood. But I've got to say, I was pretty entertained watching this. There are some scenes and some lines that will annoy you intensely, and some characters that will annoy you intensely. There's one in particular that is so stupid you can't understand that he's got the brain power to draw breath. He makes Joey from the sitcom Friends look like Albert Einstein. He's so stupid. But that's the comedy here, you know what I mean? He's absolutely brain dead, he's that stupid, and it's funny because of it. So they're all like, they've got these character traits, but they've dialed them up to 11 on each of them. And you've got Sam, who's the groom to be, and his father-in-law along as well, which offers some typical comedy tension throughout between those two, because the father-in-law doesn't like his future son-in-law to be. So you've got that comedy tension between those two as well. So there's a lot of stuff being juggled around in this film, and it all kind of works. I mean, it gets a bit silly. I'm not gonna lie, it does get incredibly silly. You've got these imbeciles up against ex-militaries, and it just it would be a mismatch in reality, but this is the movies, I guess. So I'm giving this a 6 out of 10, mainly because I was hugely entertained with it, and I did find the comedy and the gore elements of it were pretty effective overall. So it is worth checking out if this is your sort of thing. So thank you very much for watching, everybody, and of course I will see you next time on Screen Stars.